have joined in for this session, and I am so excited because every time I teach, I also get so much to learn from everyone. So let's start off. Is a creativity coach, and I'll share her details on later on Instagram. Yesterday, she posted this amazing chat she had with ChatGPT, okay, where she asked ChatGPT to answer in only one word. Okay, and she asked ChatGPT what makes someone creative, right? Because we always tell that, okay, X person is so creative, or A person is very creative. I'm not creative, but this person is very creative. So these are the answers that ChatGPT gave, and I thought this is the perfect introduction to the session. So what makes someone creative? It is imagination. Okay, so every time we imagine and we force ourselves to go out of our boundaries, then we become more creative as people, whether it's at work, whether it's in art, or whether it's any form of job that we do. She then asked, what stops humans from developing their imagination? So, what stops us, right? I mean, we all can be creative, right? But what stops us? And that the answer to that ChatGPT gave was fear. Now, I think it's a little more deeper than that. It's about like when you were a child, probably you were painting something and someone came to you and said, no, but this doesn't happen like this. This is not how it works. Like, this is not how a flower is, or this is not how a face is. A face should have two eyes and one nose. So these are the kind of restrictions that keeps coming on you. So when you're in your 20s or your late 30s or whatever age you are in, these fears have started building on and they have started increasing a lot, and we don't even realize it. So when we become parents, we also do the same thing. We look at a painting. So many times I see moms looking at painting of their children and they'll say, Are, but this is not right. Why did you do this? And that is when we are doing the same thing, what is happening to us, we're doing that to our kids. We are developing fear within themselves to make their, and we are building their borders. So kids are very easy. They can do anything and they are so creative. And why they can do is because they have no fear. They have no fear of imagination. So what is the best way to develop this imagination, right? We have a fear now, and we know when if we have imagination, we'll build creativity. So what is the best way to develop imagination? And that is through play. Now, play is also not easy for adults because we have stopped playing also. Because every time we are doing something, we say, okay, we need to get something out of it, right? Now, I am joining this workshop from Pallavi, so I will learn something out of it, right? Can we say, okay, 1 hour, let's be unproductive? I think that's the aim that we should have today. Like, let's be unproductive. I don't want to create anything productive out of this. There are days like my Monday, like my Tuesdays and Thursdays are days when I don't want to be productive. I want to create crap. That's my aim. And that is play. Play is when you don't have a desired output. You don't want to do something for a certain purpose. Like I know artists, I have artists here. So you will make painting. Okay, I'll make a painting, I'll post on Instagram, I'll get likes. I'll sell it through a gallery, I will get it sold, I'll get money. Or as a mom, my daughter will have some, or my son will have some drawing time, and that's a good time spent. Or I'm teaching my kids something. Throw that away. And then it'll automatically happen, is what I'm trying to say. Don't push it, don't keep it in your mind. Okay? Now, if a human engages curiously and plays, and he keeps playing, they keep enjoying and they keep making art. So, what will you get? You will get joy. It's like the shortcut to joy is creativity. You're feeling bad, you're feeling sad, you broke up, your child is not listening to you, you are having a bad time at work. Just make art. It is the direct connection to joy. And I can assure you, 15 years I have been in the corporate, and art has saved me in the corporate. 15 years, I'm an ex-Tata, ex-Schneider employee. I was in marketing, technology marketing for 15 years. I left in this August. So I know how much art saved me from the toxicity of work and corporate work, especially for people who don't automatically adjust to the corporate or work environment. So creativity is a shortcut to joy. And now I think that's about it. I just want to start off with the art. So you can see my screen. I'll continue to share it for some time. So these are the flowers. The task for today is you have to use any kind of pen, pencil, or anything, and you have to, uh, sorry, you have to basically make flowers. Okay, you have to cover that whole sheet of paper with flowers. And we are going to do this. And since one very important part of creativity is the importance of limiting time. Because if we think we have all the time in the world, trust me, we'll never be creative. So next time you want to push your creativity, either reduce your materials or reduce your time. Okay. So I'm going to put a timer of 10 minutes. Okay. We have whatever piece of paper you have, 10 minutes. You have you can see all different kinds of flowers. You can choose the easiest flowers, simplest flower, complicated flower, whatever it is. We have to cover this whole sheet and we have to doodle it with flowers. Now, you can use paint, you can use brushes, you can use pastels, you can use pen, you can use anything basically. I chose to use pens today for some of the activities because I know a lot of you end up using it. So then it always helps me if I have if I'm using the same kind of materials. I'm just going to make random flowers, okay? And that's why for you, I have those line arts of different flowers. If you find it very difficult to make it directly, you can use that, or you can use any kind of materials. Your flowers can have 3 petals, 2 petals, any kind of things. I see lots of kids. So if kids have joined in, you guys have to choose any paper, any two art supplies. Okay, so any 2 colors, and you have to start covering your paper with flowers. Now we have festive season here, so let's choose some nice and bright shades of colors. I have chosen yellow and I'm just going to fill it. Okay, now since this class is like all action packed with a lot of things to be done in 60 minutes, so that's why I'm choosing, like, I have used the smallest piece of paper, and I will also continue to uh, be a little ahead of you guys so that you all know what I am doing. And then you all can also change and you all can think of different ideas before I go ahead. The next step is that we will try to create something that is not something that we have seen. Okay. So the next step is fun. I'm going to do it in watercolors. If you have any other medium, you can do that. And this time we don't have to use any shape. Okay. So no circles, no squares, no rectangles, no triangles, nothing. It has to be the most shapeless thing that you can create. Okay. If you have watercolors, I will suggest to put water of any shape. Okay. Mm, don't think anything. And I am talking, but for you, I hope you get some quiet when you do this and just complete and just color the whole thing with watercolor. Okay. If you don't have watercolors and you're doing it in pastels, I'll show that as well. For now, I'm just showing you if you have watercolors, then you do this. So we are making we are just doing any shape. So we have no control, especially when you're doing watercolors, you wouldn't have control about on the structure that you're making. If you are, let's say, using a piece of paper and you have pastels, I'll show you that as well. So again, be wary of the color you're choosing. Okay, so you can choose the color that sparks joy. The point that I mentioned, choose the color that means when you look at it, you feel happy about it. Okay. Let's say you have a pastel or a sketch pen. Again, just move your hand. When you're moving your hand, don't think of any shape. Try not to think of anything. And when you feel, okay, this is enough. Let's say you want to use 2 colors. You use 2 colors, okay? So if I use 2 colors, keep doing it. Like push yourself. Keep doing it till you actually feel, okay, this is like a bit too much. I'm going overboard. Okay? Close your eyes for a moment. Okay. And once all of you have closed your eyes, imagine you're in a magical garden. Okay. Imagine you're in a magical garden, and this garden is like no other. Okay. It's filled with colors you have never seen. There are plants that sparkle, there are flowers that sing, that glow. Now just roam around in the garden, keep thinking. Think about what kind of flower you'd like to create. Maybe this flower has some magical properties. Like, what does it look like? Is it spiky? Is it short? Is it round? Does it have petals that twist like into like caterpillars? Does it look like stars? Does it have hearts? Does it have polka dots in it? Is it pink? Is it blue? Is it silver? Does it have bright, bold colors, or does it have like soft, pastel, muted colors? Think of it for some time. This is your fantasy card. So it has something that has come from your life. It's special and unique to you. It's probably the flower of your name. Now, once you feel you're comfortable with the style this flower is, just open your eyes and start drawing it first. And then we'll start detailing it. Okay. Try, I know it is a tough thing, but try to stay away from the traditional idea of a flower. Okay. If you need to draw, you can draw. If you feel intuitively, you can make any shape or anything, or you can directly go with paints, you can do that. That's not a problem. Many times, because I'm like equal parts logical and creative person. So I struggle when I start using a pencil. I go into realism all the time. So sometimes what I do is I just use the water and paint directly, and it's always very useful for me. So I'm going to use the paint directly. Use colors that spark joy. Use colors that make you feel good. Use colors that when if you like this thing and if you kind of use this painting just to keep it as a reference or a reminder that it sparks joy and it makes you feel good. Okay. So again, any shape or the shape that you thought of, it can be very detailed. It can be inspired by your current life. Let's say you're going through a little bit of a struggle. So maybe it can have a lot of spikes. Let's say if you're having if you're really having a good time, it's something new in your life. If you want to depict the emotion, like let's say love is like maybe red. Let's say if you are feeling, mm, if you have a new child, if you have a newborn that you want to show it a different color, then you can show that. So the idea is just, and if you struggle with perfection, if you use a pencil like me, then I always start directly I use my favorite color or whatever color is my current favorite, and I just go in with a brush. Now, one more thing that will help you is using a fat brush. Because when we use thin brushes, we are much more in control. But when we use thick brushes, we are much lesser in control of how we are moving our brushes. Okay. So, and don't think and start making. So you can be as detailed or as less detailed as you want. Your flower can be detailed, but essentially it should have a lot of elements. Now, once you've added the basic shape and you feel, okay, I'm happy with this, like I personally feel happy with my flower that I have created. So, in 1 hour, we actually, less than an hour, like we still have 10 minutes left. We actually created, um, I I have created five. If you would have definitely created three pieces of art, right? And most of the times, what we do is we say, okay, but it's not something that's very great, so it's not art. Like for artists, we do that. I think for everybody, if it is not something pretty, we don't count it. But I think what I'm trying to say is if you give 50, 30 minutes every single day or 30 minutes every single week, you'll actually, this will start helping you in ways more than art. It will start helping you in understanding your emotions, emotional state. It will start understanding in the way you work. It will start helping you rewind after a bad day. It will start helping you in being more clear about the work that you want to do. So it's like a fog dispenser. It will remove the fog from your mind.
Thank you so much for joining this class. And these are the pieces that I created. And if you create yourself as well, then please do share them. Also, this is a fantasy collage. There's a link of a public collage. If you do try this out, do share it on this particular link. It is there in the description below. Thank you.